Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 37 of the Local to Global series here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Anyway, first things first, I wanted to just do a quick little creative meeting. Basically, we do have one more signing that's going to be hopefully coming in this episode. I think it should be this episode. Let me check that first of all. And that is, of course, Jack Jackson. I would say arguably probably the most promising, or I guess second most promising, but the reason why I would say he is the most is because of his incredible entertainment skills. He really does. Well, he's got 86 on microphone, really good charisma, and 78 acting there as well. So I feel like he potentially has a massive upside. I feel like he could basically be our new Angry Gilmore. And I think we might link both Angry Gilmore and Jack Jackson together. Originally, I was going to go for Bowden Snoop, but I just feel like Bowden Snoop is probably not going to be... He's not going to be successful with Angry Gilmore. And I think if we have Cooper Christie and Zach Powerson together, we can then have Jack Jackson, Angry Gilmore together in a tag team as well. At least for this first, few months with all three of these guys in the company. And if they have a feud together, then Angry Gilmore could essentially work with them and, of course, continue working with Jack Jackson as well. So I think that's my sort of short-term game plan. Anyway, creative meeting right now. We've got Davis Wayne Newton, the GOAT, in at number 1. As you would kind of expect him to be there. We then have Angry Gilmore in at number 2. Of course, star presence. His popularity did drop 3 points. He's down to an 82 in Ontario, which is down from the 85 that he's normally on, which I would say, it's pretty unfortunate, but at the same time, Mobstar did gain some popularity from him, so it was a bit of a trade-off, and like I said, over the last few episodes, Gilmore is getting on a little bit. I feel like his promos will get him back up to probably about 85 popularity anyway. And of course, him and Jack Jackson, if I do decide to put them together as a tag team, they will be very, very successful. Anyway, Ozzie Goldstein in number 3, of course, with the unfortunate title loss to his rival, long-term rival, Davis, in that last episode. And then, of course, we have the Golden Goat partner to Davis himself, Zeus Maximilian. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Now, next big things, Zach Powerson in at number 1, potential superstardom. We then have Cooper Christie in at number 2. I think he is a little bit lower than Powerson's, but he also potentially has, could potentially ascend to superstardom, which is interesting enough that Papa Swole also has potential superstardom in his future as well. So I feel like that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's just head into the first TV show here of July. And again, if you clicked on the episode, it is obviously us building towards Wrestle War. And of course, Wrestle War is it's this year. It is going to be a 30-man battle royale over the top rope elimination match. Essentially a Royal Rumble. But obviously, it's the Wrestle War. That's kind of the gimmick name for the actual Battle Royale match itself. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, the winner of the Wrestle War match will actually get a title shot the next night for Davis's Unified World title at Warzone, which is, of course, the original name. Alright, so Rich Money, his contract is running out, but he is retired now. He's also the booker. That's it's pretty interesting. Anyway, not going to worry about that too much. That's very strange. But yeah. Anyway, so let's get into Coalition Wrestling. Now, I think what we're going to do, we're going to have maybe... I'm not sure if I want to do some qualifier matches or not. But I mean, that's always a possibility. Actually, one thing I don't think we can do it yet. One thing I do want to do is fire Pork Chop Patterson. So we'll be doing that as well. Anyway, where are we going to go? We're going to go into Hamilton. I think will be pretty good for this show. And I'm still a little bit undecided with how we're gonna run things at the moment. So obviously we have our storylines. This was supposed to be a fresh start for Angry Gilmore, but he did end up losing at the pay-per-view to Mobstar. And of course, Mobstar has essentially had a big change in attitude recently. So we might continue with that. But for the start of this show, we are going to have a semi-decent main event. And it's going to be John Greed taking on Graham Gorman. This one's going to be interesting because we are going to form a new stable. Been talking about it for a little while. I think John can go for 20 minutes. Yeah, he can. 69 stamina there. So John's going to win. It is going to be a tainted victory. And we are going to have some interference, as you'd expect. Onto Graham. I think we might go with both Stephen Parker and with Jackpot Jordan. So I think we'll go with both of them because they're going to be John Greed's new stable members. That's our main event. Apparently he's unhappy. I don't like the fact that he's unhappy, so I guess we'll keep him strong because I really do want to do this for the sake of storylines. And what we'll do here is we'll add John Greed. And I think we will also alter the name. And we'll call it the Formation of Wall Street, which is their new stable name. Of course, they're all about the money. John Greed. I mean, greed is literally in his name. And of course, where do you find the most greed in the world? Arguably, it would be Wall Street. So I think that's a pretty cool stable name. That was actually a suggestion as well. So if you do have suggestions, make sure you drop them in the comments down below. I was originally going to go with the 1%ers because obviously the richest 1% in the world hold, I think, more than everybody else's wealth combined. So I was kind of going to go with that. But I feel like Wall Street actually sounds better. I was going to maybe add something onto Wall Street as well. Maybe like the Wall Street, I don't know. Something else. I was going to go with the hooligans, but it doesn't really fit too well because they're not actually hooligans and it wouldn't really make sense. But anyway, we're going to stick with Wall Street for now. I guess up next, we might just go for a few multi-man matches, to be honest, because realistically, there's not too much else we can really do up until the next episode when we actually have both Wrestle War and Warzone, and of course we'll also have the Go Home show. But again, the Go Home show itself, what we might do for each of these 4 TV shows is just stick with one storyline per show and go with that. Of course, at the moment, Davis doesn't actually have an opponent. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what sort of happens. So I think Davis and Zeus, oopsies, Zeus I think they can take on maybe, let's go Brothers for Life. I feel like that'd be beneficial to, I guess, some of these guys. I did also mention in the comments in the last episode that it looks like Gonzalez's basics is stuck at 69, which is, it really sucks. That's quite unfortunate because he was one of our sort of better prospects that we were potentially looking to really push. I did notice that last episode, which is the reason why he did lose our mid-card title there. So yeah, it is what it is, but, you know, just kind of the way it goes, I guess. And who can be the final partner? Let's go with maybe a Sono. We'll chuck a Sono in there with Davis and Zeus. And I think let's give Zeus the victory. I feel like he almost deserves it. He's kind of been a little bit, you know, almost unimportant recently. We haven't really done too much with him. He's kind of just been the backup to Davis in most matches. Up next, let's go with the Crew and Mighty Kavanaugh as well. And I think they can take on Zombie Boy, and Doomsday Generation, so they can take on what's their name? Forces of Darkness. Yeah, completely forgot their name there for a second, but that's fine. And I think we will indeed. Let's give Papa Swole a victory, and the loser can be Zombie Boy, and that'll give Papa Swole a nice little title match. Maybe for the next TV show. I feel like that could actually be pretty beneficial. There we go. I guess we'll do a tag match here as well. Do kind of need to do something for the tag team division. So let's exclude everybody that's already booked. Let's just have Young and Wasted take on Red, White, and Blue. Gonna be a non-title match, just 10 minutes. And let's have Taylor get the victory there as well. Make it storytelling. I'm wondering if we should be getting pretty close to these guys. Really not. They've still got, you know, quite a few more years to go. About 3 more years before their psychology is going to be up to scratch. Kind of unfortunate, because I was really hoping that they would, you know, get up there sort of sooner rather than later. What else will we do? Let's do another Giant Brody Squash. We may as well use Pork Chop, because we're going to fire him after this. So let's go 5 minutes with Brody squashing. So Domination, Script, and Decisive. There we go. Perfect. That can go there. That's kind of fine. What else? We still need one more match. What other storylines do we have? I might want to adjust a few as well. I mean, this one can essentially end, although I might put Goldstein against Zeus in a feud as well. So that's all fine, that one. We've got the New Boys. So let's put the New Boys in a match. Let's put them... We'll go another 6-man tag. We're kind of going pretty heavy on the 6-man tag matches. But let's go with the New Boys. So Cooper Christie, Zach Powerson, and they're going to team up with James Diaz, which I think is actually... It's a relatively decent team. Actually, maybe Goldstein. Let's go Goldstein as well. Sorry, not as well. Instead. And they can take on maybe Doc Hammond. Jack Pride would be good to get in there. He needs a match, but I don't really want him losing. But it's kind of inevitable, I guess, at this point. And we'll just chuck Charlie Corner in there as well. So we'll give the win to Goldstein, but obviously... Essentially, the win is just going to their team. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's start off with Ozzy himself. And we'll get him cutting onto Zeus. I think it will be a decent opening promo. And that can, of course, continue this storyline, push it forward. We'll go a Giant Brody Menace angle. Just for 4 minutes. That's fine. Perfect. Yep. What else do we need? Alright, so we definitely need a John Greed with Stephen Parker and, of course, with Jackpot as well. We may as well, yeah, we'll go all 3. Give them all success as well, because they're all in the same storyline. I might script them as well. And we have the... I don't know why Caps is on. The formation of Wall Street. Maybe Wall Street. Should we call it Wall Street Enterprises? If I can spell properly. I feel like that's a better name. Wall Street Enterprises. And, of course, that's going to advance there. That looks pretty good. I think that angle should hopefully do pretty well. I know not everybody in the angle actually has relatively good entertainment. I mean, they all have somewhat good. Obviously, Greed is very good, but I think he's the best of the 3. What else do we need to do? Obviously, Davis. Maybe let's go Davis, Zeus. And I guess we'll have both Diana and Utah. I guess they might not be rated. They'll just be taking a bit of a back seat in this particular angle. But I think it's more going to be focusing on Davis speaking to Zeus about Ozzie Goldstein. And what Davis wants Zeus to do in the Wrestle War match at the first pay-per-view. And basically what he's going to say is he wants... I'll explain it once we get into it. Okay, so we've got, I think, one more angle. Let's go for the crew, I think. So Kavanaugh, Papa Swole, and Public Enemy. I think they're all entertainment, aren't they? Pretty sure they were all entertainment. We are the crew. There we go. Okay, so they all need to go unscripted. Only because of Kavanaugh. Perfect. I think that actually looks pretty good. Actually looks pretty good. We'll do a quick little tag match. Have the Moneymakers. They're already being used. And they can take on Bowden Snoop and, yeah, Robin Newman, of course, our resident jobber tag team. Even though they're not actually a proper tag team. Anyway, we'll give Jackpot the victory. I feel like he would probably be lacking a little bit more momentum compared to Steven at this point. There we go. All right, let's run the show. So we start off with a 57 rated pre-show match where we have the Moneymakers defeating Bowden Snoop and Robin Newman in 11:49 when Jackpot Jordan pinned Robin Newman with a Make It Rain. Of course, the finisher sounds perfect. Make it rain. With all the money Wall Street has. Alright, so then start the actual show off with an 81 rated angle. Of course, Goldstein wanting I guess a bit of revenge. You know, he's pissed off to the extent that he lost in the steel cage. Obviously, there was no involvement by Zeus because he physically couldn't get involved. But he's more just angry about the fact that everything has happened, you know, prior to the actual steel cage match. Zeus is always getting involved. He's always hanging around. Him and Davis are such good boys. And Goldstein feels like everything that he's done was almost a catalyst for why he lost at the pay-per-view. Even though, like I said, he technically wasn't involved. Alright, we then go into our first of, what, 3 six-man tag matches. First one getting a 58 rating here. Of course, we have Ozzie Goldstein, Cooper Christie, and Zach Powerson defeating Doc Hammond, Primetime Jack Pride, and Charlie Corner. 10:24 when Ozzie Goldstein pinned Charlie Corner with a golden shower. As you'd expect, Goldstein head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Yeah, Charlie Corner seemed off his game, but that's again, it's more just for these two guys, the new boys, if you will, to gain some momentum, because Cooper Christie actually had hold momentum. So I don't really understand why that was. I know he lost against John Greed, but I kind of figured that he would at least get it back with the pre-show victories that we gave him recently. Anyway, moving into a 66 rated Menace angle from Giant Brody. Of course, he's going into another squash match, and of course it will be Pork Chop Patterson's last ever match with the company. Gets a 32, as you'd expect. Giant Brody defeating Pork Chop Patterson in 4:41 by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. And unfortunately, I mean, the reason why it was so bad is because Giant Brody was really off his game. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter. It's just a dominant victory. Another squash for Giant Brody there. And we say farewell. Alright, we then move into a 56 rated angle from the crew. Of course, Kavanaugh, Papa Swole, and Public Enemy, all 3 are going to be in that Wrestle War match. So basically, what they say is that they're all going to work together to try and get to the final 3, with it, you know, just being the crew left, and then they've basically agreed to battle it out to see who will become the #1 contender. Obviously, Public Enemy and Papa Swole, they're on the same page. But Kavanaugh, he agrees to it, but then he also has a bit of a smirk on his face, like he doesn't really believe exactly what he's saying, and he's kind of not hesitant, but you can tell that he's up to something. Like he's not 100% in with the plan. Yeah. Anyway, moving into their 6-man tag, gets a 54 rating, where we do have the crew defeating Forces of Darkness in 11:49 when Papa Swole pinned Zombie Boy with the pounce. So obviously we got the victory of Papa Swole pinning the Canadian champion in Zombie Boy. So like I said, we'll give them a singles match on the next show with the Canadian title on the line. I think that'll be a pretty good match, hopefully. Unfortunately, Original Sinner was off his game in this one. But yeah, Kavanaugh doing pretty well, and then Zombie Boy, I guess, did pretty well for his team as well. All right, we then move into a 61 rated tag team match where we have Young and Wasted defeating Red, White, and Blue in 9:34 when Taylor Norton pinned Blue Dragon with a tumbleweed splash. So this is a pretty good tag team match, considering these guys, Red, White, and Blue, they really don't have any sort of significant popularity. I looked at Blue Dragon before I started the episode. He's actually improved quite a lot. He really has. Also, we've got Americana really off his game. So, I mean, basically, one person from every match has been off their game, which is a little bit frustrating. Anyway, we move on. Of course, non-title match. We then go into a 79 rated angle. Unfortunately, Davis not doing too well without a script there. But basically, Davis says he approaches Zeus, who is with Deanna and Asono. They're sort of talking a bit of strategy backstage. But Davis singles out Zeus and basically says, I need you in the Wrestle War match to take out Ozzie Goldstein. Ozzy cannot win the Wrestle War match and get another opportunity at my title. And basically, Zeus kind of feels like, you know, he accepts what Davis says, but Zeus says that he's going to try and win the match because he feels like he, at this point in time in his career, needs to have that big title match. And of course, at Warzone, it is arguably our biggest event. Of course, the end of year event is our season finale, which you could argue is probably our biggest event. But, you know, Wrestle War going into Warzone is, I would say, just as big. Probably bigger, if we're being honest. It's kind of like our Royal Rumble going straight into our WrestleMania. Kind of the way that I see it. But anyway, that's fine. We move into their 6-man tag match. Getting a 75 rating. Could potentially beat the main event. Anyway, we got Yuta Asono and the Golden Goats defeating Brothers for Life in 12:25 when Zeus Maximilian pinned Ray Cavallero with a Thunderbolt. And of course, Davis head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. And Luis being the weak link there as well. It's a pretty good match. Pretty good. I'm definitely happy with that one. And then we go straight into the main event, which gets 1 point lower than that previous match. We get a 74 here for the main event. And we have John Greed defeating Graham Gorman in 1950 by pinfall with a crash diet following interference from Stephen Parker. And then during the match, we also had Jackpot Jordan run in and attack Gorman. So here we go. We have the formation of a new stable. Okay, that's not too bad. We get a 69 rated angle here to finish off the show with the formation of Wall Street Enterprises. So this is probably, I would say might be our most dominant stable in the company at the moment. I would say Greed is almost a main eventer. These two, I would say both Stephen Parker and Jackpot Jordan I would say they're upper mid-carders for sure. And when you compare them to maybe the Crew, who I would essentially deem second strongest, Kavanaugh is essentially the same level as John Greed. But I would say Swole and Public Enemy are just not... They're mid-carders, not yet upper mid-carders like these two. But a 69 is pretty good. And of course, it was rated on all three for entertainment. Anyway, we get a 74 overall rating. So, unfortunately, we're not going to grow in popularity in Ontario. But we're 72 popularity in Ontario at the moment. So, it's really going to kind of take an 80 or above show at a minimum, I think. Over, it would have to be over 80. So, an 81 and above for us to actually gain any more popularity in that region. That's fine. All the other regions, except for Hawaii, of course, without a bigger broadcaster, we are not going to get any additional viewers there. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's kind of to be expected as well. Okay, just going to take a sip of water here. All right, what do we got? Viewing figures, we got 290,000. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Tex Hagen has retired. Okay, nothing to really worry about there. How has CWA done? That's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good TV show. They've actually changed their main event up once again. That's respectable. As you can see, though, their women are absolutely destroying their men. Crazy. We got Amber Allen defeating Claire Winters with an 88. Lauren Easter defeating Simony Sentinel with a 90. And then, of course, their main event was this match here, which is pretty good as well, getting an 88. And we have Sunny Wildside defeating Mark Dubois and Skip Bow. It's a pretty good match, of course. Would love to get my hands on Sunny Wildside, but probably not going to happen. Anyway, before I forget, let's fire this man. Get this man out of here. Been absolutely dreadful. Bye-bye. Of course, his morale issues have now gone away as well, so that's perfect. Let's take a look. How long do we have until Jack Jackson is here? All right, we got 5 days, so he'll be here for the next TV show. I actually like that a lot. I think we'll give him we might give him the opening angle on the next TV show. He won't have a match, but he'll just have the angle. I'm very curious because obviously he will be involved in the Wrestle War 30-man Battle Royale, so that'll be decent. I'm also kind of still waiting on Zach Powerson's increase in I don't think it was it size? I'm not sure if it was size or if it was physique. But we did I'm pretty sure we did get him to try and increase, because I was a little bit worried about that potentially ruining his 90-star quality. But you know, that was a risk I was willing to take. I think it can happen, I think, anywhere between maybe 1 and 3 months. I feel like we did it maybe 2 months ago, so we'll kind of have to wait and see what happens with that. But it would be so sweet if we get a positive outcome for his size. That would really be something special. I feel like if we could get Zach Powerson up to 100 star quality, I mean, he's already the best figurehead potential we have at the moment. I would say that Papa Swole's just behind him. But if we could get him, being Zach, up to 100, that would essentially be game over. I mean, the only issue would be his psychology. But he's already got the basics. He's got 99 basics already. Or is that Christie? I think it's Zach. I think Zach has the like super high basics. I think Cooper has really good basics and really good psychology as well, but it's not at that level. I think he's got like 80, like maybe mid 80s for Cooper Christie. And of course, I think he's got about, is it like 78? Let's have a check here. Also, a lot of contracts are running out as well. Ooh, Kid San Juan. Interesting. I mean, it would be good to get him in, but obviously there's no real way that we could... I mean, Malik Chamberlain. Can we get Malik in? Or back in, I should say. Do I want to get him back in? I guess we can't because he's really upset still. Oh, this is going to ruin. This is going to ruin me. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. That's really frustrating. Because I was just about to put together the stable properly. Well, considering we made 750,000, I think I'm going to negotiate this one. And we're going to go in. I'm going to go 3 years. 3 or 4. I'm going to go 4. I think he's 36 now. He'll be 40. I mean, we still use our older guys anyway. So, not really too big of an issue, but we're going in. So they offered him about, so we need about 20k merchandise as well. 25. Give him a 10% bonus, but let's go 21,500 with a bonus of 21,500 as well. Okay, perfect. So I think we have the best offer at the moment. They actually... No, they didn't give him any bonus. Why did I give a bonus then? That was a little bit silly by me. I probably should have looked at that offer in a bit more detail. Alright, we've got a manager there. Oh, okay, so it must be hiring season at the moment. Gary the Entertainer. So Gary Walker has been offered a contract as well. This one by USPW. We were, you know, I would say we were almost on the cusp of actually pushing Gary, so... This is an interesting one, because... No, I feel like we have to go in for him as well. I mean, his entertainment stats are just way too good. He's already good enough in the ring to really, you know, do some damage for us. All right, let's go in for him as well. They're only going 2 years. We're gonna go a bit longer. I think we're gonna go. We just go 10. I'm just gonna go 10 years, to be honest. All right, so he wants 15,000. All right, there we go. We'll see what happens there. I mean, they're gonna come back and try and negotiate, I would assume. Who have we got here? Philip Shaw. I mean, he doesn't look like anything too special. Coming out of SWF. Alright, Sam Wilkinshaw. Yeah, he's not too good either, to be honest. Charlie Kerr. These must be all their sort of last year or the 2 years ago. Maybe they're graduates they got from their dojo. I have to say, none of them really look all that impressive. Kind of weird that they're actually re-signing all of them. Because, yeah, literally none of them stand out. Really like this guy's picture, though. I mean, if that Puro was actually in Brawling, I might be tempted to sign him. Because he's got some good star quality, good very good menace, but good entertainment stats as well. Yeah, I think we'll take a miss. We'll take a miss on that one. Anyway, what we want to do now is... Alright, so we're only 1 day away. That's perfect. Alright, so what I'll do, let's add we may as well add the new stable. So Wall Street Enterprises. And of course, it'll be Mr. John Greed. Be our leader, Stephen Parker. Will be, I guess he can be the deputy. And then finally, Jackpot can be our, just a member. A member's fine. Alright, so there we go. Wall Street Enterprises. As long as we keep Jackpot Jordan, everything should be fine. Anyway, let's get into the next show here. Just have to remember to not process straight away. Otherwise, we could run into a few problems if they renegotiate their contract offers. Anyway, Wicked Lester here, creating a fun and relaxed atmosphere backstage with a karaoke machine. And then we have Doc Hammond taking Chip Martin under his wing as a protege. So that's actually good, because I'll put them together as an actual team. We have no Kavanaugh tonight, but that's perfectly fine. Probably wasn't going to use him anyway. We're going to be in Mississauga for tonight's show. What is our main event going to be, though? That's an interesting question. I guess we might just go big. I'm going to go Ozzie Goldstein taking on Zeus. I feel like we may as well just go straight in with it, to be honest. 58 stamina, really not looking too good. We're going to keep it 20 minutes. So Goldstein's going to win this, which I guess is going to really piss off Davis. What I also want to do, let's have an angle here as well. Let's go Davis, and then Zeus, and I guess Ozzy will be there as well. And it's just going to be Davis speaking, but all three will be in the angle. I guess no success for Zeus because he lost. I know usually I just give everybody success, but I think we want to go like that. And that'll go after the main event there as well. Okay, so we know one other match, which is going to be Papa Swole taking on Zombie Boy for that Canadian title. Let's give it 12 minutes. CWC Canadian title on the line. It is going to be a fairly straightforward victory, I would say. No interference, no sort of shenanigans or anything like that. I don't even give Zombie Boy. Really just don't like Zombie Boy's entertainment skills. I might give... Yeah, I think we're going to give Papa Swole an angle before this show as well. Just by himself. Actually, we could go both. Let's go Papa Swole and Public Enemy, because we can obviously use this to our advantage. Let's go unscripted as well. And that'll, of course, advance their storyline together as well. Pretty easy, pretty simple. We also might go... Let's go an Ozzie Goldstein angle here. I know I'm booking the show a little bit differently to compared to how I would usually book it. But it's always good to try different things. So that's going to go pre-main event. Should equal a pretty good rating. Now let's book the rest of the show. We'll just book a few tag team matches, a few different things. And like I said, we'll give that promo. Let's go the Moneymakers. They can take on Los Hermanos 2. Be a nice, easy victory there for them. With Stevie P taking out the victory. I think we'll make it the storytelling match as well. That's fine. That can go there. Once again, I think we'll go with John Greed. Actually, let's have John Greed cut a promo onto Marco, and we can have a match between these two on the next TV show as well. It's just a good little match to have. So that'll be before the Moneymakers take on Los Hermanos 2. Let's go an 8-man tag. Let's have who are we going to have? Good question. Let's go with Gorman, who's obviously still involved with the other storyline. He can team up with Angry Gilmore, and then we'll have... Yeah, let's go Cooper Christie and Zach Powerson in there as well. And I guess they can just take on Mobstar. And maybe a few other guys. Jack Pride. Zippy. Zippy. Yeah, we'll go Zippy. Chuck Zippy in there. Let's go with both of them, actually. Let's go with Feel Good Inc. We'll just chuck both of them in there. I mean, it's not really a big issue. Have that go for 12 minutes. We'll give Gilmore the victory. He definitely needs it after losing to Mobstar. And I guess we may as well keep Mobstar strong in this match as well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. 19 more minutes. So I guess we'll go one more angle, one more match, sorry. Let's just have Doc take on Chip Martin. So just a mentor versus protege. With Doc picking up the victory. Actually, can Chip call a match? I think he might be able to. Definitely not. Okay. Well, it's good that he actually found a mentor. That's beneficial. Let's have that go there. Actually, no. Let's do this. Okay, so Jack Jackson, entertainment by himself, 8 minutes. Get Gilmore onto that one. And then finally, let's just go for Angry Gilmore himself. Actually, once again, Angry Gilmore onto Mobstar. I think that's beneficial. There we go. And that can advance their storyline. And that will go before the 4-on-4, the 8-man tag. Perfect. Alright, what I think I'll do is actually give Jack Jackson a match here as well, where he can take on... let's go Bowden Snoop. So it'll be on the pre-show, so it's fine. With Jackson picking up the victory. Actually, I think it can be called, can't it? Yeah, definitely. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. Let's run the show. We start off with a 48 rated match on the pre-show where we have Jack Jackson defeating Bowden Snoop in 11:31 by pinfall with an implant DDT. Debuted his Smack Talker gimmick, getting an initial rating of great. That's pretty good. Happy about that, of course. I mean, unfortunately, gives a small penalty to Psychology during matches, which is frustrating to say the least, but at least it's a good, or it's a great initial rating for his gimmick. Alright, we then actually kick off the TV show properly with a 58 rated angle with essentially Jack Jackson making his official debut onto TV. And of course, nobody saw his match, the dark match, prior to the TV show starting. So here he is, he comes out, cigar in his mouth, sunglasses on. That's a pretty decent promo. Getting a 58, it's not too shabby. Basically, he says that he's here, people call him, I don't know, a bit of a drill sergeant. He wants the best out of himself, and he's really going to push everybody to the limit in the Wrestle War match, and that is exactly the reason why he's here. And he says that he wants to become a world champion, and not just a world champion, but a unified world champion. So on debut, already taking some shots at Davis, which I think is pretty brave, but of course he is very talented. He's also very good on the microphone, so people are lapping it up and got the crowd hotter as well. All right, we then go into our first match, which gets a 56 rating. We have Doc Hammond defeating his protege, Chip Martin, in 10-13 by submission with a Texas Cloverleaf. And yeah, Chip Martin was really off his game. Less said about that, the better. Moving into a 93 rated angle from the resident promo professional. Made that up on the spot. Angry Gilmore. And of course, he's pretty upset about Mobstar, you know, pulling off a bit of a cheating victory. He didn't really cheat. I guess he kind of did, but at the same time, Gilmore more just angry at himself more than anything. He let his guard down, and Mobstar, obviously, with that change in attitude, really took advantage. We then go into a 64 rated 8-man tag where we have Graham Gorman, Angry Gilmore, Cooper Christie, and Zach Powerson defeating Mobstar, Primetime Jack Pride, and Feel Good Inc. in 11:47 when Angry Gilmore pinned Zippy Deverill with an anger management. And unfortunately, Zach was the weak link in this one. Really kind of sucks that his psychology is only in the 50s. I feel like it is going to be about a year before he's going to be up to the main event. Which is, it's unfortunate, but then at the same time, we've got Cooper and we've got Jack as well, who will probably be pushed. They'll probably fly past the mid-card straight to the main event. Anyway, we then go into a 70 rated angle, this one coming from John Greed, of course, the new leader to Wall Street Enterprises. And of course, he cuts a promo onto Marco Gonzalez. And of course, basically, Brothers for Life are taking on, well, Los Hermanos are taking on the Moneymakers. Of course, part of John Greed's stable. So, a little bit of stable versus stable rivalry on these TV shows. But, of course, Greed does have his focus with Graham Gorman because of Stephen Parker and Jackpot Jordan's recent sort of storyline with him in particular. We then go into that tag match, getting a 61. We have the Moneymakers defeating Los Hermanos 2 in 9:37 when Stephen Parker pinned Ray Cavallero with a Make It Rain. Ray Cavallero really off his game, but he benefited from having a hot new move, so it is what it is. Anyway, moving on to a 48 rated angle, this one coming from the Crew, but this time only Papa Swole and Public Enemy, so Kavanaugh's not to be seen. And of course, after the angle on the last TV show, where they all agreed to be the final three in the Wrestle War Battle Royale match, there could be some, I guess the announcers would basically put over the fact that he's not there. He's not here to support Papa Swole going into a Canadian title match. Seems a bit strange. Possible rifts already appearing in the Crew. The match, it doesn't do that well, which is strange. It's a 44 rated match, but both members got 50 in-ring performances. So I'm going to take a look at the dirt sheet here. But we do have Zombie Boy defeating Papa Swole in 11:54 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. We have Zombie Boy making defense number 1 of the CWC Canadian title. So what's the problem here? I don't think I've ever seen that negative before. Apparently, Zombie Boy was penalized for forgetting the script. How do you forget the script of a scripted match? Anyway, and again, Papa Swole, poor gimmick, but you know that's something we're going to try and change as soon as possible. And so it essentially got penalized twice because the segment rating was penalized as not everyone was following the script. So I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Very interesting. Anyway, go into an 83 rated pre-main event angle. Unfortunately, Goldstein not doing well without a script to follow, but he still got an 83. So it's safe to say he probably would have got over an 85 at a minimum if he actually was, well, not even a positive reaction to no script, but if he was just neutral, I mean, he might have got a 90 or above with a positive rating for not being scripted. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. It's still really good. Very positive. And the main event, it does as well as I thought it would, to be fair. We get an 80 rated main event match here. We do have Ozzie Goldstein defeating Zeus Maximilian in 1954 by pinfall with a golden shower. And a nice 84 in-ring performance there from Goldstein. Very, very solid. I'm assuming, obviously, stamina. Yeah, so Zeus penalized for inconsistency, stamina, and then also declining physical ability. Also, apparently a lack of heat from the associated storyline. I don't know about that. That seems a little bit strange. Anyway, of course, we've got one more angle, which does really well. We get a 92 rated angle. So if Davis is scripted, he does really well. But if he's not scripted, there's potential that he can sort of fall behind a little bit. Anyway, Davis comes out, basically confronts Zeus for losing to Goldstein, basically saying that, you know, he's not doing well. He's not doing well enough. He's not really fulfilling, let's say, Davis's friendship, if you will. And there's also a little bit of tension here. And of course, Zeus said that he wants to win the Wrestle War match. So I have to wait and see how that plays out. A 92, though, is very solid. It's a good way to finish the show. Alright, so we get an 81. So that actually, as you can see, increased our popularity in 55 regions. And of course, that is one, well, Ontario is one of those regions. That's pretty perfect. Really like that. Like I said, we needed above 81 at a minimum. So very happy. Once again, still improving in popularity with some shows. Some shows obviously are not going to be good enough to get us the popularity required to actually increase in Ontario, but it's perfectly fine, because what we need is we need all the other regions to try and balance it, you know, themselves out a little bit. Oh, okay. Oh, that scared me for a second. Alright, so we've got a bid update for Jackpot. I mean, I really want to keep Jackpot, and I don't really care that much about Gary. Alright, so they've gone up to 25,000 for 4 years as well. I mean, that's pretty easy for me, because I'll just go to 25,000 as well. Even drop this down a little bit, maybe to 15k. Because we are giving him 10% bonus per event. Yeah, so we're always essentially going to be the better offer out of the two. As far as Gary goes, let's have a look at this one. It's going to be okay, it's pretty bad. It's really not, though, because we're already at 15k. We'll go up to 17. Yeah, they haven't given any bonus, so I'll give him 15k signing bonus as well there. Ooh, okay. So we're not the number one. Let's go 18k. Oh, it's frustrating, man. That's really frustrating. What about 500? 19k? Is still really just not being pushed in. Okay, there we go. So 20k is what it took. But once again, all right, what's our viewing fees? Oh, we're up quite a bit. 310, almost 311,000. That's perfect. Definitely improved from the last one. Unfortunately, we're still only at 72 pop in Ontario, but I think we gained a point in Quebec. And I think Manitoba as well, yeah. Both Manitoba and Quebec have gone up to 52 and 51 respectively. But unfortunately, no rise for Alberta. Which, you know, we're still 6 points away from getting onto pay-per-view. Anyway, let's just advance 2 days at a time, because we just want to keep a very close eye on those contracts. Like I said, especially Jackpot. I really don't want to lose him, because we just made our new stable. I really like this stable as well. And like I said, it is essentially our strongest stable that we have at the moment as well. Going to take another sip of water here. All right, let's see what happens. I'm hoping that they won't actually... Interesting. Cam Jones, social media storm. I was wondering if he might be released. Because that can happen. Alright, so Alex Braun stepped down. Yeah, so no contract offers. We've got Michael Bull, the TCW referee, who isn't very good, so that's not really an issue for us. But yeah, doesn't look like any other offers have come in for both Jackpot and Gary. So we might be, leading the charge, hopefully. And the sooner they accept, the better. So, I mean, I just really hope we keep Jackpot. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know what we do after that. Not only do we lose essentially one half of a proper tag team in our division as well, but we're going to lose that stable member as well. I'm not sure if there's anyone that's still money orientated that we could actually sign for the stable as well. All right, we got one contract here. Yes. All right, we keep Jackpot. Perfect. 25k per month for the next 4 years. What else have we got? Quincy Jargon. He's that referee. Yeah. He's very good. He's got 98. Russia Ball. I mean, he actually looks pretty good. I mean, he's hardcore orientated though. I mean, everything else is pretty good with him. I don't think we'll go in. I just, I don't know. I mean, he's part of a tag team, I guess. But we would have to essentially wait for his brother. He also doesn't really have any popularity, so... Yeah, I think we'll take a miss on him. Not really too worried about him. Okay, we do have rival bid updates, though. For Gary. Okay, I don't know what New York are doing there, but... US Pro coming in again. Let me bump this up to 20, and I mean... Let's just see what happens. I mean, I want to keep him, but at the same time... I'm not really too fast, because... When it comes to the future of our company, I feel like he's probably not going to be it. If that makes sense. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, we'll accept it if it happens, but... It's kind of... It's fine if he goes. I'm not really... I won't be devastated. Let's just say that. I know some of you guys are pretty big fans of his, and I was going to push him, at least, relatively soon with the Canadian title. But I guess it would be pretty bad in some way if he was to leave the company. Anyway, it's going to be between us and US Pro. I don't think... Obviously, he's not going to go to New York for an exclusive pay-per-appearance contract. I mean, Lasana, he's pretty good. Glad they changed his picture to make him look older. I always feel like he looked pretty weird. Anyway, yeah, there's nothing to really go over anymore. Also, Mobstar has now popped up into the franchise players list. Fortunately, no Jack Jackson, though, in Next Big Things or Hot Prospects. He is number 3 in Talk the Talk, though, so that's pretty good. As you can see, Gary is in there as well, so that's frustrating, but fine, I guess. All right, I think what I really want to do is we need to get James Diaz onto the show in some capacity. All right, where are we going? We are going to go to London. No, let's not, because they have no importance. Let's go to Brampton. All right, Brampton it is. What is our main event, though? Let's do a big 6-man for the main event. Let's have... So it's going to go for 16 minutes, because it's going to have both Zeus and Angry Gilmore in it. So let's go Angry Gilmore down there. Mobstar's going to be teaming up with the Golden Goats. Then we're going to have Ozzie Goldstein on the other team. And I guess we'll also go with... Maybe I go with Diaz. Yeah, let's just go with Diaz. It's going to be a really good match. So I kind of... I mean, it would be pretty fitting for him to be involved, I guess. It's not exactly sure who I want to lose. I guess... I mean, does Diaz kind of has to lose this match, really. That's essentially just how it goes. I can't really have Goldstein or Gilmore essentially losing again. That'd be really, really bad. Anyway, there we go. Let me do the angle here as well. Not really too sure which side we go for. I guess we'll go for... So, Gilmore, Ozzy, and Diaz. I mean, all three on entertainment. I mean, it will hurt the rating a little bit having Diaz there. But at the same time, it might be beneficial for him to be involved. Okay, so there we go. What else? Let's go Davis onto Zeus. And I think we might have a match between these two on the Go Home show. Potentially. Anyway, maybe not. I might have actually I might have Zeus take on Mobstar. And I'll explain why. Because this post main event angle is going to have a lot to do with it. Anyway, let's have a title defense. Let's go the tag titles. Let's have our rematch. So Roxy Stars taking on Young and Wasted. Let's give it 14 minutes, and I want to make them go all out for a really good match. All right, so we open, scripted, all out, and decisive. Coalition tag team titles on the line. Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good in theory. All right, what's next? I think I want to go a singles match, and let's go Blue Dragon taking on Jack Jackson. Or go Cooper Christie instead. He has 40 popularities, so he might be able to get away with it. So Cooper to get a win there. I think we can call it, can't we? I'll show you how good Blue Dragon actually is. He's not bad. I mean, 61. It's a little bit low. A little bit. But let's risk it. Let's just go for it. We may as well. Anyway, what else do we need? Let's go another tag match. Let's have Doomsday Generation taking on maybe the Crew. Yeah, I think the Crew. Just to get, obviously they're kind of feuding together, I guess. Give it 12 minutes, and then I guess we want Papa Swole getting a victory back. Because of course he did lose. That'll be storytelling. What else? Okay, I said John Greed and Gonzalez on that last last TV show, so this one's already kind of set up for us. I feel at this point we have to give it to John Greed. Only because Gonzalez, he doesn't have any upside anymore. The fact that his basics is stuck at 69, I mean, it's essentially ruined him, basically. It's a tough spot to be in for him, but let's make it tainted. And we'll do an interference by we'll go Stephen Parker. Actually, no, let's go Jackpot because Jackpot, well, he just signed his contract, so he's already getting paid. So that's perfectly fine. Okay, that should maybe be good. We might add one more match. Let's go with... I want to go with Jack Jackson again. That should be fine. So he's going to have his angle prior to Cooper Christie's match there. Let's go with John Greed. And let's go Jackpot as well. So no Stephen Parker in this show. All right, there we go. Perfect. That'll go before his match. The crew. I don't... maybe Mighty Kavanaugh can just have an angle where he says he's just going to win. And we can use him on the pre-show anyway. So he says he's going to win the Wrestle War match. Okay, so yeah, we may as well just give him a match on the actual show. Let's have him take on Robin Newman. He's going to be squashed. Not literally, but it's not going to be a good day for Newman. Okay, there we go. That works out pretty well. 125 minutes, perfect. Let's go a cheeky little tag match here as well. And let's have... Where are they? Jack Jackson and Zach Powerson can team up. Why is he annoyed? Yeah, why is he annoyed? Huh. Need to figure out why he's annoyed. Anyway, they can take on... Yeah, I guess they can take on Feel Good Inc. on the pre-show. And I guess I don't want to give it to Zach, I suppose, but really confused as to why he has morale issues. I really don't know why that is. Anyway, there we go. All right, so this is the last TV show of the episode. Let's run it. We start off with a 51 rated pre-show match. And of course, we have Jack Jackson and Zach Powerson defeating Feel Good Inc. in 11:44 when Zach Powerson pinned Zippy Deverell with a press power slam. And yeah, Zach was the weak link once again. Anyway, we start the show off with a John Greed, Jackpot Jordan, the Wall Street Enterprises. They get a 71, so that's better. John Greed enjoying having the freedom to go off script. Basically, they say that they're going to be the most dominant stable involved in the Wrestle War match. And John Greed says that, you know, his boys understand what it means for a CEO. That's essentially what he calls his leadership. He's the CEO of Wall Street Enterprises. And they know how lucrative it will be if their CEO manages to win that match and become the unified world champion. All right, we then go into the opening match, his match against Gonzalez, getting a 65 rating, which is actually really good, considering they both only got a 58 in-ring. But we do indeed have John Greed defeating Marco Gonzalez in 10:30 by pinfall with a crash diet. Then during the match, we also had Jackpot Jordan run in and attack Gonzalez, essentially helping him to win. get the money that is associated with winning matches on television. Good stuff. I like this storyline, this stable as well. Super happy to keep hold of Jackpot. All right, we then go straight into another match, getting a 59 for this one. We have Mighty Kavanaugh destroying Robin Newman in 10:05 by pinfall with a sit-out spinebuster. And of course, Robin Newman, once again, off his game, but he's not consistent, and it's kind of expected. We follow that up with a Kavanaugh angle, where we have Mighty Kavanaugh speaking as if he's essentially already won the Wrestle War match. And basically, he doesn't mention Papa Swole, he doesn't mention Public Enemy. It's just all about Mighty Kavanaugh and the fact that he's going to win the match. So, if I was the rest of the crew, you know, if I was Swole and Enemy, you'd be pretty frustrated that your leader is speaking this way after agreeing to basically fight it out in the final 3 to see who will get the title shot. We then go straight into the Crew's tag team match, getting a 52, where we have the Crew defeating Doomsday Generation in 11:50 when Papa Swole pinned Original Sinner with the pounce. So basically just getting a bit of momentum back at the hands of Forces of Darkness after Zombie Boy obviously defeated him to retain his title. Moving into a 63 rated angle this time, so I think it's better. We got 58 for the last one. Once again, Jack Jackson improvising well throughout the segment, so he's kind of looking like a star. He's looking like a star once again, just talking himself up a little bit more. Had another match on the pre-show, but these angles are really going to hopefully get him over with the crowd pretty well. All right, we then go into Cooper Christie's match, which does really well. Get a 60 match rating for a 10-minute match. And we do have Cooper Christie defeating Blue Dragon in 10:06 by pinfall with a top rope elbow drop. Good stuff, man. Cooper Christie. And he also has I'm pretty sure he has a bad angle. Yeah, he has an awful gimmick. I said angle. I meant gimmick. But he has an awful gimmick. So if that was, you know, a good gimmick that he had, and there was no penalty, man, this guy could, I mean, he could almost be in the upper mid-card already. Anyway, moving on to our tag team title rematch, getting a 66, which is pretty good. About what I think that's about what they got in the on the pay-per-view in the last episode. Anyway, we have Young and Wasted defeating the Rock City Stars in 14:25 when Brett Kyle pinned Stan Manor with a shooting star press. Young and Wasted making defense number 1 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. Just a really solid tag team match from both teams, to be honest. And of course, they were going all out, so yeah, they got a bonus. Well, Stan did. Actually, I think they all kind of did, hopefully. Ooh. Ryan Turner penalized for stamina. I mean, it was 14 minutes, but it was all out. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that is an interesting one. Anyway, first defense there for Young and Wasted. That's really good. That is really, really good. We go into a 100 rated angle. Yes, a 100 rated angle with James Diaz rated on Entertainment. Let's not talk about who he's with. Obviously, Angry Gilmore is a 100 rated angle machine. But Goldstein's in there as well. And like I said, you know, if he is improvising well, as he did here, it's going to be a good angle. But yeah, all 3 of them actually did really well without a script together. And of course, both Gilmore and Diaz have hot catchphrases as well. So very beneficial all round. And we get a 100. Pays off. Good stuff. And of course, we go into the main event, which does relatively well. We get an 84 rated main event here, which is actually the same as we got on the pay-per-view in the last episode. So we'll take it. We'll take it. But we do have Mobster and the Golden Goats defeating Ozzie Goldstein, James Diaz, and Angry Gilmore in 16:09 when Mobstar pinned James Diaz with a flattener DDT. So yeah, Diaz taking the pinfall, and Mobstar picking up a big win. And of course, we've got one more angle left. Not as good though. Once again, I need to script Davis. I need to script him. I keep forgetting. He only gets an 80 rating. He's the only one rated on entertainment in this angle as well. If I scripted him, it would have been a 90. I feel like it would have been a 90. Damn it. Okay, anyway. Basically, Davis says to Zeus that he was expecting him to get the pinfall victory in this match, and he basically wanted Zeus to pin Goldstein to essentially humiliate him, and of course to soften him up a little bit more. The fact that Mobstar got the pinfall makes Davis infuriated. He thinks that Zeus is, losing his touch. He thinks he's getting old. He's past it a little bit. Says all these horrible things to Zeus. And he doesn't say anything, but Zeus is not impressed in the slightest. Zeus is visibly frustrated with Davis coming out of this angle. Alright, so we finished the show. We get an 83 to finish off the episode, which I think is really cool. Of course, the first TV show was a little bit iffy, but at the same time, I feel like that TV show was more suited towards us telling a story with obviously the creation of the new stable, Wall Street Enterprises. Then we got an 81 on the second show, and now we finish off with an 83 for our third TV show. Once again, still improving our popularity in Ontario, which is perfect. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at the size here, but this episode's gone on for quite a long time. Next episode's probably going to be as long, if not longer. Of course, we got the Go Home show to book. And then we have 2 pay-per-views, with one of them being a 30-man Battle Royale. So, yes, we keep him. Gary Walker is staying. Thank goodness for that. I thought we were going to lose him. I feel like he's almost a better fit for US Pro than he is for us, but I'm super, super happy we keep him. Anyway, 312,000 viewers, so that's up a little bit, about 1,000 or so, which is fine. It's nothing too special. Anyway, let's go back, check out Championship Wrestling. Okay, yeah. So basically, they went back to their sort of normal style of booking, getting a 97 for their main event with the Mob, which is Aaron Knight, Sunny Wildside. Basically, whenever they use this tag team, it's guaranteed to get a 90 or above, essentially. So there we go. Also a 93 for Brooke Tyler defeating Nadia Snow. And a 96 overall show rating. So there we go. Okay. That makes me a little bit depressed. Anyway, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. One thing I do want to check though, Diaz. Popularity. Didn't gain anything. Or at least, I don't think he did. Maybe he did. Was he at 53? I feel like he was already at 56. I don't know. I feel like he went up to 56 as a result of the pay-per-view victory over Jack Pride. But I honestly can't remember. Good to see Gilmore. He's up to 83, so he's up 1 point from those 3 TV shows. What about Goldstein? Where is he? So he's at 69. So he's actually up 2 points. Okay. That's perfect. The more that he improves, the better. At the moment, I really like that. John Greed, maybe up 1 point. Oh, he's up 2 points. Okay, that's good. That's really good to see as well. Let's check out Christie. Still at 40. That's fine, but he's up to warm momentum now, so that's kind of what I wanted to change with him, because I think it was him who had cold momentum. Let's check out, where is he? Jack Jackson. I think he's up 1 point. Yeah, so he's up to 36 now. Okay, that's not too bad. He's only had, what, 2 angles, and of course 2 pre-show matches, so that's relatively good. He'll have another promo on the actual pay-per-view itself, and of course, he will be involved in the Wrestle War match. So looking forward to that. But what else? I think that's it. I mean, I guess we can check Powerson as well. So he's at 28. So I think he's up 1 point. Yeah, he's up 1 point as well. Perfect. What's his irritation? Oh, just his gimmick. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that, to be honest. What happens if you drop a gimmick? Can we give him a new gimmick? Oh, it is. Yeah, okay. It's slightly too soon. So hopefully not too long, and we'll be able to do that. Anyway, ooh, would you look at that? Up to 73 popularity in Ontario. Really nice, but we haven't gone up in Alberta. Oh, come on. I want to get on pay-per-view so badly. Like, we're gaining popularity like crazy. I mean, maybe we just start running the TV shows in Alberta. I mean, I kind of feel like that's the only way for us to really get it up there. Obviously, the pay-per-views are going to be... We'll run them in Ontario. I think maybe starting from next month, maybe we'll run 2 TV shows in Alberta. See what happens. Let me know what you guys think anyway. But yeah, it'll have to be in, I guess, episode 39, I think. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. Just quickly check the merchandise, up to 40%. Too bad. But yeah, that is going to be it for the episode, guys. Please make sure you smash a like on the video. Of course, this series, so enjoyable. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. If you are, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.